What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going thrifting. We're going to be hitting up Goodwill and Salvation Army. We are going to be on the hunt for vintage home decor and kitchenware items. So let's get thrifting. It's always my goal to find out a lot of information about the items I'm finding, so the year they're made, manufacturers, materials. And today there was a lot of items from the 1960s, 70s, and the 90s. So I thought that was really interesting. I've been finding that certain thrift stores will have decades that are a lot more popular and kind of depends on the day I go. Like some days I go to a thrift store and it's a whole bunch of items from the 50s or more from the 80s. So today was interesting because it was 60s, 70s, and 90s. I did go to this thrift store on Friday evening, and what I noticed was that all of the shelves were super stocked from top to bottom, just information overload. The employees were still putting a whole bunch of items onto the shelves, and what I realized was they were preparing for the busy weekend, Saturday, Sunday. So that is a new tip and trick I'm gonna start doing, and I suggest you guys try out, is going Friday evening. And another nice thing was that the store is really empty. There's maybe me and one other person max. And if you're anything like me, you get maybe a little nervous with large crowds, or I don't like having to, squish by people in the aisles. It gives me a little anxiety sometimes. So this was a perfect medium. There wasn't a lot of people, there was a lot of items, so it was a great time. For this shopping trip, I only purchased one item, so stay tuned to see what that item is. And if you watch any of my other videos, you'll realize I don't always purchase a lot, and I have 3 reasons for that. Number 1 being I'm on a budget. I do not have a lot of money to spend, so I set aside a certain amount of money I can spend on fun things like thrifting. Number 2, which is probably the biggest thing, is I am working on being more intentional and mindful of what I purchase. So I made a list of items that I am looking for, that I have a need for, that I have thoroughly thought about wanting. So overall in my life, I've been working on being more intentional with my actions, which extends into my shopping habits. So as a result, this has been helpful because I purchase what I truly love, and I have a new rule for myself too, that unless I absolutely love it and have the need for it or true want, I will not purchase it. And this leads to minimizing clutter and excessive shopping, which also leads me to my 3rd reason, and that's sustainability and minimalism. I used to be a major minimalist and not a major consumer into shopping a lot. However, with my newfound love of antiques and vintage items, I realized that this is going to be a little difficult to upkeep, and I would be making adjustments to my minimalistic habits. I still do not like clutter and prefer things in moderation, so I'm figuring out how to combine the two for that perfect balance. But when I see these photos of, vintage and antique houses and decor, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want it all. I want to feel like I'm walking into another era. So that's my challenge coming up, which is antique minimalism. Maybe we'll see how that goes. And another reason being is I actually generally just love going to stores and window shopping and seeing all the items, especially these items that are from the past. There's so much history behind them, so I love to just see interesting stuff that I wouldn't see otherwise. Here's where I really started having fun. These Kellogg's bowls made me so happy. I did not know I needed to see them, but they were just so cute. And these bowls were Corningware, but I did not realize until I rewatched the video back because I was so distracted by this blue willow bowl, which was gorgeous, by the way. The colors were super deep, the glaze, the transferware, everything was just very consistent. I thought these teacups were very cute. Once I went home and Googled them, I fell in love with them more because the whole set, they have like ramekins with the fruit design on them, and I'm a huge baker, so anything like that I am crazy about. And in general, this section of thrift stores is probably my favorite because I think it's so cool that everything is functional yet gorgeous and vintage or antique in some cases. places, so you'll usually find me in this section. One of my all-time favorites that I found in the store was this enamel pan and pot set. The pot will show up later, which is so cute. I really wanted to get them, but I don't have a need or purpose for them. I am really big into cooking, and I'm trying to invest in some copper pans or some carbon steel pans. So for cooking sakes, even though these are absolutely gorgeous, they don't really fit my needs, so I decided to pass on them. But I still dream about them sometimes. This strawberry pot also made my day. It was so cute, so sturdy, had such striking colors, and this was one that was tempting for me, but it doesn't really match my style. I tend to like really rustic, Victorian, very strong, and sometimes I'm like, do I want to go cutesy? Like if I had the style, I would get this tea kettle with the Kellogg's bowls, maybe those cute teddy bear plates. I'm always torn internally, but I think my favorite does tend to belong to the more Victorian styles, Art Deco. This was my one purchase of the day. It is a vintage late 1960s Corningware casserole dish. It said $14.99 on the dish, but I actually got it for $12.99. And never say no to vintage Pyrex or vintage Corningware. I was so excited, and I have been looking for these forever, just waiting to find them out in the wild, and this was the first time, so I was very excited. This is where I found the pot to match the pan that was found earlier. At this point, I was very excited because I did think that I was gonna buy this pot pan duo, but as mentioned earlier, it didn't fit my needs, so I unfortunately left it behind. If you are enjoying this video so far, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. I am absolutely obsessed with cake pedestals. I used to be a cake decorator and I still decorate cakes. So anytime I see a pedestal, I get so excited. I think one of these days I'm really gonna invest in a really nice china pedestal because that's something that I'm willing to pay more money for because they are so beautiful. I noticed they're rare to come by, so if anyone knows any brands that makes really good china cake pedestals, please let me know in the comments. My next stop was Goodwill. I've been to this Goodwill probably 5-6 times at this point, and I realized I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't think it's worth the trip there, and I'm usually pretty underwhelmed. Sometimes they have cute stuff like this little bird cage that would look so cute as decor. But overall, I think I'm gonna cross this one off of my list only because I get pretty sad when I go there and they don't have a lot of stuff. I thought this art was pretty cool. I love celestial things. If you watch my estate sale video, I got these really nice mid-modern highball glasses with the moon and the sun. They have black and gold. Absolutely gorgeous. This is another style that I do really enjoy. With the exception of the Corningware casserole dish, these were my favorites. Please let me know in the comments what were yours. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. See you later.